I was introduced to yoga my first year of medical school because I had suffered a back injury, and I was referred by my orthopedic surgeon to a yoga class that was offered through my medical school in Philadelphia. I thought I was coming to the yoga class to learn how to stretch because I was very athletic, but I was not very flexible. But what I learned in my yoga studies was that I didn't know how to relax. And that was probably the greatest gift, learning how to relax in Shavasana, learning to pay attention to my breathing, and learning that who I thought I was, which was a body, was not who I really was. And when I saw what an incredible difference it made in my own life, I realized that as I was studying medicine and seeing people suffer with so many problems, and so many of those problems were stress-related, I wanted to study more, not just for my own personal journey, but as my role as a doctor, so that I could apply what I felt were the benefits of yoga to all of my patients. Yoga was the greatest form of preventive medicine. I still feel that, because it teaches people how to take care of themselves. And so I was applied to Harvard, which is a very famous school, and I told them that, and they accepted me in their preventive medicine residency program, and that came with a one-year overseas requirement. And I told them I wanted to go to India, and they said, well, we can't send you to India, we don't have contacts there, we can send you to other countries. And I also interviewed at Tulane University in New Orleans, and I met the dean of the School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine. He really liked me. He didn't know much about yoga, but he saw that I was really enthusiastic about its potentials as a therapy in modern medicine, and I wanted to come to India. He promised me that he would try. So that was good enough for me, and I was accepted at Tulane University. I turned Harvard down. They were very angry at me. They said, nobody turns Harvard down. Why are you doing that? But it was because of yoga and my desire to go to India that I turned them down. As I was getting closer to coming to India, Dr. Banta said, well, all the committee members that I'm responsible to are asking me, what does yoga have to do with modern medicine? He said, I'm putting my whole career on the line for you, but when you come back, I want a published paper in a scientifically peer-reviewed journal. So I agreed, and I came to Kaivalyadhama in 1982. It was the best year of my life. I received the DYED from GS College of Yoga and Cultural Synthesis. I actually finished #1 in my class. I was very fanatically studying everything and doing the asanas and the shat kriyas, and also spending time with Swami Digambarji. I couldn't really, limit what I learned. It was just so much, and I'm so grateful for that year and for being at Kaivalyadhama, and that's why I keep coming back over a 35-year period. But I think that just coming to this place is so magical for me. The vibrations that have been established from all the tapasya, all the practices, you can feel it. And it's just a wonderful place to come and nourish your soul and your mind and your body. And so then I was able to carry this work forward. So I will start from when I left the Kaivalyadhama, because at that time I had a dhardi and long hair, and was wearing a lungi and a kurta, and I had to shave everything off and put on a military uniform and serve in the United States Air Force, because they had paid my way through medical school, and now it was payback time. The fortunate thing for me was that I was able to be stationed in the Philippines, which was a lot closer to India than the rest of the United States, but I would get 30 days leave every year, and I would come straight back to Kaivalyadhama for those 30 days. What I was able to learn in that very high-tech environment of the US military, where there's a lot of rules and regulations and there's a lot of tension because you're gearing up for war every day, was I was able to help Air Force pilots who had high blood pressure lower their blood pressure through what I learned at Kaivalyadhama, through Shavasana, through very simple pranayama. Because a pilot is not allowed to take medications to fly, otherwise they're grounded. Grounded means they can't fly. So I was able to save many careers by teaching them what I'd learned here. After that, I was able to work with Dr. Dean Ornish, who was the first person in the world to prove you can reverse heart disease without drugs or surgery. He was President Clinton's heart doctor. He was President Obama's heart doctor. And my wife and I, she's a yoga teacher from Kaivalyadhama Mumbai branch. She has a DYED from the Mumbai branch of Kaivalyadhama. And she and I worked, we would fly 4 times a year from where we live in Hawaii to San Francisco over a 10-year period working with Dr. Dean Ornish. We probably treated about 4,000 heart patients in that time with severe advanced heart disease, coronary artery disease, which is the #1 killer in the Western world. Western medicine couldn't do anything more for them. Many were on the heart transplant waiting list. Their hearts were so bad they couldn't even walk across a room without getting shortness of breath or chest pain. And Dr. Ornish's work proved that through yoga and a plant-based diet, which is also part of yoga. If you look at the, Patanjali talks about 5 yamas, but in the Upanishads they discuss 10 yamas, which includes mitahara, which is moderation in diet, and then also ahimsa, which is in Patanjali's yamas as well, which is non-harming, which are the basis for Dr. Ornish's plant-based diet, which he helped, because there's so much meat eating going on in non-veg in the West, and people, they're so ingrained they don't understand that it's killing them, and it's blocking their arteries and contributing to high cholesterol, which along with the stress is the reason why heart disease is the #1 killer in the West. So that part of Dr. Ornish's program, I was able to witness so many people not just improving their physical health, but feeling spiritually transformed also. And that was incredibly rewarding. And then now in my own practice in Hawaii, I'm in a group practice in introducing all that I learned from Dr. Ornish, all that I learned from the Air Force, all that I learned at Kaivalyadhama. That thread is being spread to all the patients that I work with, and I've written several books about what I've learned here. The first one was for people with back problems. It's called Healing Back Pain Naturally, a mind-body approach to overcoming back pain. And that is in 11 languages now around the world. Now yoga is finally getting its due credit, which Swami Kaivalyadhama, the reason for his scientific studies was to really amass enough evidence to attract the medical community, the medical establishment, modern medicine, because he wanted to see yoga get integrated into modern medicine because there are so many people suffering. And when you come to yoga, whether it's for spiritual purposes or because you want to heal from a physical problem, it's going to take you deep into your spiritual center of your heart. So it's the same train, whether you get on in Mumbai or in Lonavala, it's going to take you to the same place. And that is the great transformative power of yoga. I'm very grateful to have played my role and to continue to play my role in that process. And I'm very, yoga totally changed my life and transformed my life. And every good thing that has come within me has come through yoga.